Hi everyone, good morning. Myself Venkat. Welcome to SAP MDG Demo. So our today's agenda will be understanding what is MDG, okay, and the advantages of MDG, and how MDG works and what are the various domains available in MDG, as well as what do we mean by a governance process flow, and followed by a system walkthrough. And then we will see the course curriculum. So what are the topics we are going to do and what is our learning methodology? What real-time approaches we follow in our training? Okay. And then we'll see the prerequisites of the course, as well as what would be the career opportunities of MDG. We'll wait for four more minutes for others to join. So till then, please help me to fill these details. Okay. Then we will start our demo. Maybe you can just say your name.
Srinivas.
Yeah, 1 second. Just let me finish the introduction to this. So this sheet will be like your name and the source, like you are from any institute, or if you are directly from mine, you can just say my name, Venkat, and your current skill set, total years of experience. Interested role is whether you want to be a technical consultant, MDG technical consultant, or functional or techno-functional. And if you want to add any comments, you can add. So you can voluntarily give the details one by one.
Yeah, you can take my Venkat Srinivas.
Yeah.
I can say that Venkat direct. Okay. And ABAP, OData, HANA.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. 12 years of experience. Interested MDG technical.
Any comments?
And
maybe if you are expecting anything.
Yeah, I'm expecting MDG workflows. And
so, that will be covered, of course.
And actually, because sorry, I joined late, 5 minutes late.
Yeah, just now we started.
My intention is that to recall the things, because I already have an experience with MDG technical, but still I want to go in depth. So material creation or vendor creation, BP creation.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm targeting on these things and configurations, especially.
Yeah, understood. So meanwhile, you can type in the chart window in this sequence also, guys. So I will collect the responses later. Okay.
Thanks, Venkat.
Yeah, thank you. Next. And don't share your email ID or contact number, please, because there are different people from different institutes also. So I don't want any details to be personal details to be shared. Yeah. Next, please. Feel free to share your details. No issues.
Yeah, Venkat, this is Akhil.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, hi, Venkat. Source is Venkat only.
Yeah.
Having skill ABAP and OABAP.
Okay.
I have 3.5 years experience. I'm interested in technical and a little functional. I mean, like techno-functional. I'm looking for the things.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Next, please.
Hello, Venkat. This is Murli. Murli there.
Hi, Murli.
Referral was Venkat only.
Yeah.
Means I'm having MDM experience. Overall is 12 years.
Okay.
Techno-functional.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next, please.
Hi, Venkat. This is Vaishali.
Hi, Vaishali.
Source Venkat.
Yeah.
MDG. 4 years.
Okay.
I'm looking for techno-functional.
Okay, great. Thank you. So you already have some exposure to MDG, right?
Yeah, I already have some exposure to MDG, but I'm only concerned little bit of functional. I'm looking forward for the workflows, the BRF, and how the RFC connections all take place. Little bit of technical, more of technical, I would say.
Yeah. Got
Thank
it.
you.
Next, please.
Hi, Venkat. Shivaraj. Sorry, Shivaraj. Yeah, it's from the Arabind actually. I think one of our friends.
Reference.
Yeah. So it's ABAP and Web Dev Pro, and I'm looking for mostly Venkat from functional. Technical mostly. but I'm interested to learn MDG function also. I'm having
Okay.
around 8.5 of experience. 8.5.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
Venkat.
you. Next, please. Meanwhile, you can
Ravi.
type in chat window also, guys.
Ravi Malvi.
Yeah.
Venkat.
Okay.
Yes, I am new to MDG. But have app knowledge.
Okay. Okay. It's a prerequisite current skill set only. Yeah.
I have 1.7 years experience in customer support executive.
Okay. Fine.
SAP. Yes.
Technical.
And
consultant.
techno functional. Yes.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Next, please.
Hi Venkat, this is Sudhakar.
Siddhartha.
Source from actually Muralidharan.
Muralidhar reference, right?
Okay, Venkat, you can imagine Venkat.
Okay. Your skill set.
MDM, little bit experience in MDM. 10 years experience.
Okay.
Technical function.
Okay. Next, please.
Hi,
You
Venkat.
can
Lokesh here.
guys, you can alternatively type in the chat window also. Don't wait for my call. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Lokesh here.
Okay.
Venkat.
Yeah.
MDM. 3.5 years.
And
Techno
your
functional.
okay. Thank
Hello,
you.
Venkat.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, this is Rajiv. So,
Yeah,
Venkat. So my skill set is BW.
okay.
So 15 years.
Okay.
So mine is like techno-functional. I'm looking. So mostly functional. So I have experience on ABAP also. So I prefer to be a more of functional.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Next, please.
Hi, Venkat.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah, myself Nanam, source from Venkat, and I am a functional FICO consultant.
Okay.
I have some knowledge in MDG, so I want to in-depth in MDG as a functional consultant.
Okay, and techno-functional, right?
Yeah,
And what's your total experience?
6 years.
Okay, got it. Yes, I will take the details for next 2 minutes only. So after that, you can type in the chat window your responses. Okay, I think you guys can type in the chat window these details. Okay, no need to follow the order. You can just type in the casual, not a problem. Okay, so as I said, like our today's agenda will be giving you an overview about MDG. So what is MDG and why MDG came into the picture? What are the advantages of MDG? What are the business benefits for implementing MDG for their business? Okay, what benefits client will get out of MDG, and how the MDG environment looks like in real time. So we'll be showing you the demo in the system, a short demo. What are the various domains have the MDG solutions implemented as of now? So all those things we are going to see. Okay, now let's start with the introduction to master data. So I can see that most of you are already from SAP background, maybe very little from non-SAP background. Okay, now first we will understand what is a master data and what is the importance of master data, because this MDG totally revolves around the master data. That is very important to understand what is a master data. Most of you might have already watched my demo, so for you it will be little repetitive kind of thing. Just please bear with me. So for explaining the master data, I'm taking very layman example, real-time simple example, a shopping cart example. Okay, so we have so many online shopping portals nowadays like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, Jabang, eBay. So many things are there. Also, the brands itself are introducing the online shopping as well, like Apple, Samsung, whatever. So I'm taking one such example, maybe the Amazon, let's assume. So now Amazon doesn't sell only single kind of product. Amazon sells so many types of products. There may be garments, there may be laptops, electronics, headphones, etc., etc. So many things are there. Okay. So now we need to understand. So how those are organized and what is government rules. Okay. So I will be taking one of the products as an example and explaining the importance of the master data. Now, you see, there are so many products being sold by Amazon, different categories. I'm just taking three categories: mobile, cell phones, and garments and fashion items. Now, out of these three, I would like to take mobile. And again, in that mobile, we have various brands like Samsung, Apple, okay, Motorola, OnePlus, etc., etc. So many brands are there. So we are having so many brands, and out of that, I will be taking a specific brand, which is a very well-known thing, Apple. And again, Apple is having various variants, 12 series, 13 series, 11 series, 10 series, etc., etc. I'm just taking maybe one of the series, 12 series. Again, 12 series have various variants, sub-variants, 12, 12 mini, 12 Pro, 12 Pro Max. Let's take one such. Again, this is further categorized based on the color. And each color also further categorized. We are based on the memory, 64 GB, 128 GB, 256 GB. Now 13 Pro Max, if you see, I think it got 1 TB also. So I'm just taking one variant out of all the products listed on Amazon. That is iPhone 12 Pro Max of blue color with 256 GB. Let's say the listed price is around 1 lakh. Just for example, it's not 1 lakh in fact, I just made it wrong. Okay. So if the listed price is 1 lakh, now what is the main intention of the seller or Amazon to list any product on their shopping portal? Simple, to make the business. How they make the business? They sell the product to the customers. Once the customers purchase the product, they get the profit out of that, and there will be a share between Amazon and the seller. So that's how they make the business in very simple way. Now, here the ultimate thing which revolves around is money, and that money is not coming for free. So that is linked to the product. So that product has the impact on the profit for the company. It can be seller or Amazon or whatever. Now, let's take a scenario where Amazon made around 1,000 customers for this particular product, 12 Pro Max Blue 256 GB. If they sell the price at the listed rate for 1,000 customers, now they make around 10 crores. So there may be a profit definitely out of 1 lakh. So out of the profit, they will be having again share between Amazon and the seller. That they never disclose, and we also never know. So these are just the sample figures only. Let's assume out of 1 lakh, maybe the overall margin would be around 30,000. Maybe out of the 30,000, Amazon might be taking 10,000 and seller might be taking 20,000. Just the sample figures. So that might be the profit. So that is how they run the business. Now, here, this is the listed details. Okay. 12 Pro Max Blue 1 lakh. Then they are making 10 crores out of it. Now, this is also a data. So what is data here? Brand, category, variant or model, color, memory size, price, currency. So all these are the data items. Whatever you see, everything is a data. And someone has to manually fill some details or fill the forms online while listing the product. That someone might be the seller only, obviously, most of the cases. So seller will be listing all the details, like when you are filling any form in online, what you will do, you will choose field by field the data. And maybe best example, you want to sell some product on OLX or quicker. What you will do? So you need to raise the selling request. Then they will show you one form. There you need to fill in all the details and upload the images, give the description, everything. Then once you submit, OLX will validate, and then they list your product. Then whoever the customers are there, if they are interested, they can contact you for purchasing the product. Similarly, the same e-commerce portals also. Sellers will place the request for this product listing, and then Amazon verifies. Okay, then once Amazon validates, then they list the product for the customers. Then customers, if anyone interested, they see the product and they purchase it. So now, here let's assume that while entering data by the seller, there was some error. Instead 1 lakh INR, so maybe the seller updated the price as 60,000 INR. Now, what is the impact of this? So the impact would be, if same 1,000 customers are purchasing the product for 60,000, then how much the Amazon or seller making out of it? 6 crores. So now there is a loss on the overall revenue of 4 crores. Okay, so this happens because of the data error in the pricing. Instead 1 lakh, they made 60,000. Of course, there is a profit, as we discussed, maybe a profit of 30,000. Actual price would be 70,000. And again, still there is no profit. There is again still a loss of 10,000. So from these 1,000 customers, Amazon can't claim like, okay, by mistaken, we have updated this price as 60,000, please refund, please pay back the 40,000, something like that. Customers won't accept because it's not the customer's fault, it's Amazon fault or seller's fault. Okay, so now this loss is because of the pricing data error. Now let's assume that there is an error in the color, not in the pricing. Okay, instead of blue, maybe the seller has been updated as gold color. Now the price is same, 1 lakh. The color is updated as gold. So now what happened? Will there be any loss? There won't be any loss. It's the same 10 crore. But what will be the effect of this incorrect one? So now it is listed as gold color, but in the back end, it is a blue color. So customers will get the blue color mobiles delivered. But what is the customer's view? They are expecting gold color to be delivered. So in worst case, what will be the impact? They ask for the replacement. Now Amazon will send back the blue color mobile to the customer. So only the shipping charges will be the extra cost for Amazon or seller. That's it. So in that case, there won't be any loss. So here the thing is, the data error can occur at any place. It can be at a pricing, or it can be at a memory size, or it can be at a color or model or brand or category, whatever it may be. But the overall organization's profit or loss depends on where the data error occurs. Whether the data error occurs at the memory or the pricing or the color or whatever. That decides the organization's final outcome, whether it can be end up in profit or loss or whatever it may be. So here, in this whole scenario, if you look at what kinds of data are involved, okay. Now, here we are maintaining the mobile details. And since we have 1,000 customers, there will be customer details. And this product is being listed by seller. Seller details will be there. And when the customer purchases the mobile, PO will be generated, sales order will be generated, and invoice will be generated. And once the product started shipping, shipping order, shipping details, and delivery. Likewise, in the back end, this many details will be updated. So POs, SOs, orders will be also generated. Now, here let's understand one by one mobile information. Are we going to maintain this mobile information 1,000 times for 1,000 customers? Definitely not. It's a one-time maintenance. Seller will list the details at for one time, and that will be shared for all the customers. Now, customer details. When you create any Amazon profile, are you going to create your profile every time while purchasing different products? Definitely not. You create once your profile, you add the address, payment details, everything, shipping address, delivery address, whatever. So, and then you are going to reuse the same. So this is also one-time data maintenance. Similarly, seller details also. Now, PO. So as many POs as the number of purchases you made. If you purchase 1,000 products, then 1,000 POs will be generated. If different orders. So these are not one-time maintenance, it is variable. Sales orders also variable. This also variable. This also variable. This also variable. So now in this simple example, we see this many types of data in the system. There are various types of data which are one-time maintenance and which are frequently changed data, which are generated multiple times as based on the number of transactions we made. So what kind of data are subjected to change here? Frequent changes. So is the seller going to change every time, very frequently, this product data? Until unless there is some incorrect information is there, they won't change its data very frequently. Similarly, the customer details. Maybe if you want to add a new address, then you will update the new address. If seller want to update the new address, then they will update, and if they want to update the bank information, okay, or if they want to update their company information or purchasing details, or customers want to update any sales details like payment information, etc., etc. Until unless the data will not be subjected to frequent changes. But POs, if you make 1,000 orders, 1,000 POs will be generated. Each PO is unique. Similarly, sales order, invoice, everything. So here, whatever the data we see, one-time maintenance and very less frequent changes, that is called as master data. And whatever the data you see, very frequent, subjected to very frequent changes and will have frequent changes happen, that is called as transactional data. So the transactional data is dependent on master data. Like if you don't have these products listed here itself, where can we get all these transactions? We don't see all these transactions if these things are not there. So this is dependent on the master data, and master data subjected to very less frequent changes. But that is the core. If there is any issue in the master data, then that is affecting all further things. Even that has the impact on the organizational growth also. If they are into any business or selling products, something else. So that is the importance of the master data. This is a simple real our regular life example. So any questions from anyone understanding what is master data and transactional data and what is the importance and effect of master data?
No, Venkat, please go ahead.
Thank you.
Venkat, I have a question here. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
In case of, let's say, in the case of that we are extending any customer to a sales org or a material to a plant, then that will be actually a change of the master data, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So now, this is again for the people who are new to SAP and having some less understanding on this concept. So in SAP, we have various types of data. Basis data, organizational data, master data, transactional data. Now let's take one simple real-time scenario. Let's say there is some ABC client. Client wants to implement SAP for their operations. Maybe they are very new to the SAP implementation. They haven't have any infrastructure or anything built for SAP implementation. They are starting from the beginning. Now, how they proceed? So first, they identify the business requirement. Why we need to implement SAP? So what are the benefits we get out of SAP implementation for our business? Then they will identify, okay, we'll implement SAP, but there are various modules, numerous modules in SAP. Which modules they are going to implement? Which modules are relevant for their business? Material management or financial or warehouse management or sales and distribution, what they want to implement? What is relevant for their business? They have to identify that. Now, they might be having different plans and different locations or different countries operating their businesses. So do we need to implement the SAP for all the sites or any specific? Now, who are the business owners for this SAP implementation of various domains? Now, do we have the manpower and infrastructure? They have to identify those things also. And they need to identify the requirements for each of the domain, etc., etc., etc. So we have to, they have to consider all these things. Once they do all the analysis and the groundwork, then they will start implementing the SAP. Let's say they have all this information. Now they want to start implementing SAP. How they implement SAP? First, they need the infrastructure. So out of that, the primary thing is they want to build SAP server. They want to install SAP in the server. Who will install that one? And while installing, again, we have various SAP software versions. So which version they want to choose, which is relevant for them, either ERP or S4HANA, or they want to implement CRM or SRM or whatever. They have to identify. And accordingly, they have to manage the hardware also. If they are implementing S4HANA and they go for very less memory, RAM, that's not sufficient. Based on the version, based on the domains they want to implement, so they have to choose the hardware also. That hardware requirements also matter, software requirements also matters, everything matters. the number of servers they want to include, whether they want to go with the cloud or on-premise or whatever. So once the basic system is ready, then they can start implementing, followed by some business requirement gatherings, etc. So this is just the very high level picture. If any client wants to start with the SAP implementation. Now, in this whole process from the beginning to end, it's not one team doing all these activities. There are various teams who will be doing different activities. Okay, so different teams will be doing different activities. And finally, in SAP, as many of you know, everything stores as data in the database in SAP. If you do any configuration or anything, underlyingly, it will be saved as a data only. Whatever the database tables we know, that is very minimal percentage. There will be plenty lot of tables in SAP, which will store each and every activity that we do in the SAP environment. So now we categorize at high level those data into 4: basis data, organizational data, master data, and transactional data. So this basis data covers all the installation things like software versions or memory management, users creation, authorization, security roles, whatever, everything. If we do any client creations, all those things comes under the basis data. So this will be usually done by 2 teams in real time: basis team and security team. Guys, don't assume that even though I mentioned as a data here, they are not going to create these things in the database directly. Okay, if you are filling any form or anything, our user, it looks like they are filling the form, but where this go and updates in the backend underlying database. Database simply nothing but collection of tables. So finally, it will get stored into the database tables. Similarly, here also, if basis team is creating a user, SAP user, they go to SAP user transaction SCGO1 and create the user details and provide update user address and contact details, and then assign the roles, authorizations, everything. Then they save. Once they save, that will be updated into the backend database again. So that's how we need to understand. Similarly, we have organizational data. So once the basis activities are completed, that means our system is ready for further activities. Now, the organizational setup we need to do. What is the organizational setup? So if you want to create any master data or transactional data, or if you want to perform any transactions, so there will be some prerequisite data like for organizational data, you can consider as sales areas, distribution channels, sales organizations, and materials. You will have the plants and business partners. You will be having the company codes, purchasing organizations, sales organizations. Okay, so many things are there. The basic setup has to be done to proceed with the master data and transactional data. So before this, the organizational data setup is mandatory. Once this is done, then the master data creation will be taken place. Like in our example, we can consider as a our product listing. So once we create the master data can be different types of master data. We have material master, customer, supplier, business partner, and EAM, equipment, function, location, etc. etc. For finance, we have general ledger, cost center, profit center, all this. So once the master data listing is also done, master data creation also done, then the transactions will happen in the system. POs, sales orders, invoices, GL balance, everything. So once the transactions are being made, once the transactions are in progress, then the business will see the benefit out of it. So here, none of the data can alone give the benefits to the organization. It is a combination. It is the what we can say. It is the integration of all this data. If you ignore basis data, where can you do all this setup? If you don't have system itself, where can you do all these things? Okay, if you don't have organizational data, and if you want to create a material master and you want to extend to some particular plant, if the plant is not configured as part of organizational data, how can you create a material for a plant? Or how can you assign a company code for a business partner if you don't do the company code configuration here? And if you don't have any customer data here, then how can you make the transactions? To whom you will sell the products? So that's why all this data plays major role. Each data has its own importance. So now our primary focus as part of MDG is this master data portion. Okay, how the master data quality control can be done. How we can improve the quality of the master data. In earlier example, we had seen there was an error in the pricing. Now, how we can overcome such type of errors? How we can improve the quality of the master data? That is the primary focus of MDG, master data governance. How we can govern the master data. Governing means how we can control. Like if you take any simple example, like we are seeing the governance in real time by various state government or central government. So they impose some rules on the public, and accordingly they can get control of the people, like in not to violate the rules. We have so many laws in our penal code, and also the traffic controlling, or some maybe if you are paying the taxes, or if you are doing any crime, anything, everything we have the laws. So using that laws, they are punishing the people. Accordingly, people will be get controlled automatically. But still, there are people violating that. That is the second thing. Okay, that is the governance. So similarly, we have to we are applying the governance on master data also here. So that SAP imposed that concept and implemented a module called MDG, Master Data Governance. How we can govern the master data? What are the various principles that we can impose on the master data to get the quality data? So that we are going to see in our MDG model. Any questions from anyone?
No, Venkat.
Yeah. So I think you're having less time. So let me give you a high level understanding of further things. So we have various challenges in the master data. Like let's assume that a scenario master data is spread across various geographical locations. There may be a possibility of having the duplicate data, incorrect data, incomplete. There may be a possibility we can have duplicate data also. Some issues in the data entry also, and maybe a few some data is not complete. Maybe we might have missed some details. That is also possible. And finally, it ends up in the insufficient analytics. We may not get the reliable master data out of these issues. And then how we can overcome that one? Maybe we can increase the manpower, and we can increase the infrastructure. There may be different ways to improve the quality of the master data. Okay. So now, who will be affected out of these master data issues? Obviously, the high-level people, whoever are there, they will be responsible for any kind of, if it is a profit or loss, whatever it might be, they are the responsible people. So now, to overcome that one, as I said, we are imposing the data governance principle. Governing the data. So what are the essentials? So here, what happens if data governance is not there? We had seen a couple of examples. So if we don't govern the data, what happens? The quality will be out of control, obviously. Then it will result into the different master data challenges. Okay. So now, why effective data governance important to the business? The answers would be more or less just listed different kind of questions. Why it is important to the business? Of course, to avoid the loss or to get the maximum benefit for the organization, we need to have the control over the data. And where the data governance programs are located. Like I said, there may be different, the business might be distributed across various geographical locations, but it is important to understand where the data controlling is very much required. If any client is having their business in around maybe 50 countries, they don't implement data governance on all the 50 countries. They have to first identify where the data is having the less quality, where it is very much required primarily, that they have to identify. Now, when they need the data governance. So of course, whenever they feel that the data is getting out of control and they need to implement some quality principles. So to get the correct data, so then they can decide. And why do we need that that gives the answer of the all above question. Okay. So now let's move on to the next. Now let's have some overview of SAP MDG. What are the various capabilities of MDG? Governance. So how the governance will be applied? So here we have various forms of governance, like workflows we have. Okay. The advantage of workflow is it will go under various levels of approvals. So usually if you take any the regular ERP or anything, if you want to create a material, you can go to MM01 and create the material and save and get the transactions done. Now, here we don't do such things. So as soon as the user creates the master data, it won't directly gets created. It will go to the approval process. Once the next level person approves that master data, validates and approves, then it will be finally updated into the database. It's just like if you are applying for any personal loan, as soon as you fill the personal loan application, it won't directly approved and amount will be credited to your account. First, it will go for the verification, maybe address verification and personal details verification and the CIBIL score and manager approval, everything. Once everything is done, then only amount will be credited to your account. So there they are ensuring like they are issuing the loan to the reliable customer. Similarly, here also in MDG, we assure we are updating or we are creating the quality master data in the system. How we are ensuring the quality? By using the governance principle. We'll employ the business rules, we'll apply the workflows, we'll improve the quality. So many things that we will see. And the consistent data. So out of this, we'll be ensuring that we'll get the consistency in the data. Like there won't be any duplicate data or not incomplete data. Okay. The data is complete, the data is accurate, the data is consistent, there are no duplicates. And integration. So MDG can integrate with the SAP or non-SAP modules. Okay. So if you have any non-SAP things, you can integrate and replicate the master data from MDG to non-SAP system. And you can again import the master data from non-SAP system to MDG also and govern here and replicate to the target system. Target can be SAP or non-SAP. And reusability. So in SAP MDG, we have various reusable things like, let's say you want to implement a custom solution. So you no need to implement the custom solution from the scratch. there are some reusable templates we have in MDG. Using that, we can implement the custom solutions in easy manner. Also, whatever the current solutions given by SAP for in MDG, like Material Master or Business Partner, they are reusable. Like they can be easily extended and reusable as per the customer needs. And of course, we'll be getting the data quality out of it and the flexibility. So MDG components are MDG solution, whatever delivered by SAP, are more flexible to adapt as per the customer requirements. These are few of the major capabilities of SAP MDG implementation. So now I'm just skipping the use cases here. So we'll see that in the regular classes.
Venkat, I have a question here.
Yeah, please.
Like as you said that in the governance, like workflows, like basically like normal workflows in SAP is the same concept in MDG as well. I mean to say, suppose if
I understood. So we are using the BRF plus workflows.
Okay, and we have even the deadline monitoring and all the concepts, right? For that next.
So all those things will not come here. Those are the normal workflows. Here we don't have the deadline monitoring and all. But workflow monitoring reports are there. So we will see those reports, analytical reports, all those things are.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions from anyone?
So Venkat, so when you said that the integration, so from SAP to non-SAP and non-SAP to SAP, here do we cover any interfaces kind of things for maintaining system?
Yeah, good question. So here, since we are using the demo environment, demo server, so we will not be able to see the integration things, but I will capture the relevant details like the configuration, whatever need to be done and whatever would be the outcome that from my real-time projects, and will show you how it will be done so that you will be having the necessary information with you in the real time. And of course, once you get into the real-time project, so if you get any questions or issues, you can always contact.
Sure, thanks.
Thank you. So now MDG user interfaces. So of course, in order to complete any action, we need the user interface. If you want to browse anything or something, you need the browser, Google. So there one UI will be there. Similarly in MDG also, if you want to create any master data or change master data, delete master data, search for existing master data, you need the user interfaces. So here we have various user interfaces in NWBC. So no prerequisite is required, guys. I will be covering all those things. Even for if you don't know workflows also, that would be fine. If you don't know WebDime Pro also, that's fine. So we'll be taking care of that. But for technical guys, the ABAP is mandatory. Okay. So NWBC, NetWeaver Business Client. So here these applications are implemented in Floor Plan Manager, FPM. And this is how when you are creating a new material, the UI looks like this. And the earlier one was the home page. You can see governing the material master data, business partner. And someone, I think Raju asked the question, the monitoring reports. So here you see analysis of the change request process, business partner governance, customer governance, finance governance, all those things. So here you have various operations again. Search material, create material, change, mark for deletion. We will see all those things. Don't worry. And this is the individual operational view. If you want to create a new material, again, this separate view will be opened. There you can key in the master data and then send it this master data for the approval process. And we have the Fury applications as well. Okay, if any Fury changes happen in the required in the real time, that will be taken care by the Fury consultant. MDG team will not be responsible for that. But in Fury also, there are two kinds of views. Just to give you at a high level, Fury lean apps and NWBC integrated apps. We will see those things. So to work with the Fiori views, you don't need to have any prerequisite knowledge of Fiori. So now out of the box applications. So I was saying SAP MDG. So there are various master data in SAP, but already solutions available for all the master data are few of them. So to answer that one, out of the box domain specific applications. I think most of you are aware of out of the box meaning, but let me give you some overview. Let's say you purchase one mobile from Amazon. So they deliver the product in a box pack. So when you open the box, what are the things you will find here? Maybe in general, mobile phone, adapter, charging cable, eject pin, and some manuals. Maybe nowadays a few brands are giving the screen protector and mobile case as well also. And optionally earphones. Nowadays most of the companies stop providing the earphones also. So these are the general things you can find when you purchase a product, a mobile phone in the box. So this is called as out of the box components of the mobile. Now, when customer purchases the license of SAP MDG, what they will get? Out of the box solutions of SAP MDG software component. So they will get the solutions of these master data. Here you see it's further categorized into two. Yellow colored one, I think it's orange, and it's a blue colored one. So yeah, there are two things. Let me explain you the difference. Now, SAP solutions, partner solutions. So SAP MDG software component is SAP's proprietary component. So when you take the license for SAP MDG from SAP, the master data solutions you will get out of that is first finance, then material, then business partner. I think that's customer and supplier. Whenever any customer purchases SAP MDG license, they will get these solutions. Now there is something called partner solution. These are not SAP's proprietary, but there are some partner companies in the market for MDG implementation, like Utopia and SND. Not sure if there is any other, but to my knowledge, these two are the partner solutions. They also implement some customer, some master data solutions, and they partner with SAP for getting the customers and giving the support to the customers. So for additional license is required for purchasing the solutions by the partners. It's not like when you purchase the SAP MDG software component or licensing, immediately you will get these solutions of the partners also automatically. It's not like that. With the software component, you will get only these solutions. And these partner solutions implemented the additional solutions of enterprise asset management and retail fashion management. Enterprise asset management is for the plant maintenance. Retail fashion management is not RF. So if any client wants to implement these, then they have to approach the partners through SAP and they purchase the license from Utopia or SN. SN implemented, I think, some finance control auditing. I don't remember exactly, but these are the things implemented by Utopia. SNV solutions are, I think, I never seen in the market for any clients, but Utopia solutions are widely used by different clients. So any questions on the out-of-the-box domain solutions?
No, Venkat.
Okay, let me see if in the chat window any questions. Okay, any link between SAP security and SAP MDG? Yes, Harsha. So security activities also very primary in controlling the users by giving various authorizations to SAP MDG. There will be different team. SAP security team will be different. And Naveed has a question. PS and PM. I don't understand that. Maybe if you can elaborate. Okay, I got only those questions. Okay, so now I would like to wind up the demo for at this point, considering the timelines. Now I'll be moving on to the course agenda and everything. Yes, Harsha will be sharing the class recordings. If you are from any institute, I will be sharing the recording with the institutes. They will get back to you. Okay. Now let's understand what is the course agenda and curriculum. So coming to my experience, I have total 13 plus years of experience in various areas. I started my career with ABAP, and then I moved upgraded to ABAP, WebDem, ProBAP, FPM, and since last 6 years, I've been working on MDG as a technical architect. I have the MDG functional exposure as well, but not the core domain expertise like core MM functional consultants, not that one. MDG wise, I am the techno-functional consultant with a technical architect position. So I'm working for one of the top 5 CMMI level 5 companies in India. I was involved in various product implementations, and I was involved in so many implementation projects and upgrade support projects as well. So that's all just a brief about my experience, and totally completed around 9 batches of MDG training. Yours is the 10th batch. Now let's move on to the course content. So you may not be able to understand all the topics. I give you at high level what we are going to cover in our training. So we will start with MDG introduction. So whatever the topics we have discussed, everything will be discussed again, because in the demo we will cover it high level only, considering the timelines and everything. So we'll see MDG overview and what are the installations options of MDG and what are various software components, various versions and storage areas. Okay. And we have MDG architecture principle, something how the data will be managed, and the governance process flow, like approval process, various business processes, like what are the various operations we can perform using MDG. And out of the box domains, we go in deeper of the various solutions. But in our demo servers, we don't get the EAM solutions, guys. Partner solutions will not be available in the demo servers. We'll be having a material, business partner, and finance. Let me update the retail and fashion also. But I will show you the guides. I have some documents for these EAM and RFM solutions. Now, baseline configuration. So when you want to prepare any system for MDG implementation, what are the configuration required? And of course, it's not usually done by one team, like not by MDG team alone. Basis team, security team, MDG functional team, technical team, all coordination should be there. So which team is responsible for various activities? That we will see in this chart. Now data modeling. So like I said, we have various types of master data solutions in MDG. So how the data is organized? That is something called data model. How you can model the data? What are the data modeling principles? So we will see all those things, and we will have a walkthrough of the standard data models. As well, we will create a custom data model also. Service mapping to So this is mainly used to map the data between MDG data model to backend database. So how that mapping helps the operations and how that helps the implementation of MDG. So we will see all those things. Everything, whatever you are seeing, we will see the standard solution, and we will have some custom solution also. How the custom one can be implemented, how the standard one can be analyzed, and how the standard one can be enhanced. Just keep these three things in the mind. Data quality and check. So this is majorly revolves around the searching for the existing data and implementing the business rules to improve the quality of the master. And UI modeling. So user interfaces. So we will start with the introduction to SAP user interfaces. We'll start with a WebDAM program at high level. We don't cover complete WebDAM program. So just the introduction, and we create some sample application. And we start with the floor plan manager. What is a floor plan manager and how it is helpful? What are the advantages? And we create some simple floor plan manager application and MDG UI applications. We'll have a walkthrough of the standard UI applications, and we create custom UI application. And we see what are the various options to enhance the standard user interfaces. Process modeling. This is mainly about the MDG workflows. We have various types of BRF plus applications that can be built. So we will see max possible things. Okay. So everywhere, most of the times, wherever possible, I will cover with the real-time scenarios. I'm not giving any false commitment. Like 100% we will cover the real-time scenarios. Due to the demo system limitations, we cannot cover 100% with the real-time scenarios, but up to 70% we can cover with the real-time scenarios. And the remaining, I will give you the enough information how it works in the real time. Okay, that is the reality if you take any training. And the data replication framework. Okay, how we can replicate the master data from MDG to non-SAP or SAP target systems if we have any integrations in the place. Various replication mechanisms and how we can monitor the replications to ensure the correct replication. And the data import framework. If you have any master data in the source files, how you can load the data into MDG system. And extending MDG standard features. Like if you have any, so there were some typos. Okay. If you have the standard solutions, how you can enhance the standard solution and how you can enhance the data model, user interface, SMT mappings, workflows. Okay, there are some standard classes also. So all those enhancements we will see. And there are some miscellaneous topics. That doesn't mean that they are not important. They are important, but not time consuming. That's why I just mentioned as miscellaneous topics. There is something called mass processing, multi-object processing, file mechanisms, and Fury applications walkthrough, and WBC roles are controlling. And in real-time projects, what are the roles and responsibilities of various people? MDG technical, functional consultant, techno-functional. What are the activities that we are going to do? How your approach should be there in the real time. And we have the specification documents real time gathered from the real time. Functional specs, technical specs, design documents. So I will give you a walkthrough of those documents and how you need to prepare the documentation in the real time. And of course, we'll be having the project activities listing also. So from the beginning of the project, what are the activities that will be carried forward and what would be the sequence? Okay. And we have some additional module called master data consolidation. I will give you an overview of the master data consolidation. So that is about the course curriculum. So any questions from anyone before proceeding further?
Venkat, so we are covering in-depth and technical also, right? Like creation of
Yes,
material and everything.
whatever the topics you
Coding.
have seen, every
Okay.
topic will be covered in depth.
Okay, thank you.
At any point of time, if you feel, okay, I'm not covering in depth, or if you don't understand, you can always come back to me. There is no issue. Okay. So now there are two demos planned. First demo is on today. Second demo on 20th August. Of course, it's the same thing. Whatever we have discussed today, that will be again discussed for on 20th, because during this period there will be different students will be coming up, and it's a completely online training, and total duration will be 60 to 70 hours. So most of the people coming to me and asking, like other institutes are covering 40 hours or 50 hours, they are completing in very short period of time. Why we are taking much time? So since we are covering more real-time scenarios and in depth of the explanation, so we'll take little more time compared to others. Okay, that is the reason. And the tentative start date mostly on 22nd August. There might be slight variation, 2 or 3 days, not more than that. Most probably won't be there, but we don't know. We don't foresee any future things, right? So that's the reason. And the timings will be from Monday to Friday, morning 7 to 8:30 hours. So it's a 1.5 hour session. There won't be any weekend classes unless we feel that in the last month or last couple of weeks we see we are lagging or something like that. Also only if everyone agrees for the weekend. It's not any forceful session. And this is about our highlights of the training. So you will get the training from the industry expert, and it's a completely, as I said, 70% of the scenarios real-time oriented, and you will get in-depth explanation of each and every topic, and you will get the assignments also. So here I want to highlight, like, it's just not my responsibility, like, okay, I have given the assignments, then I'm done. So you also have to be responsible in completing the assignment space. Remember that. If I given the assignment that doesn't fulfill your need, because I am already got good exposure to MDG, I am already almost settled and in a good position in MDG. So it's not important for me to do the assignment. It's important for you to do the assignment. You have to realize that. Only when you do the assignment, trust me, you will get the good exposure to the concept. You listen the recording 10 times or 100 times, unless you practice and you complete the assignment, you won't get the good exposure. And you will struggle in the real time, mark my words. I have seen few people who ignored them. And study materials, I'll be providing the study materials like the PPT today you have seen, that is my own material. And there are some standard SAP materials also, which I feel better explained than mine. So if I feel, I will share the standard materials directly. If I see some improvisations required, so I will share my own materials. And the interview questions will be given. Again, here I don't give the answers, to be honest. I give only the questions. I want you to crack the answers. Fill the answers and come back to me. Hey, Venkat, these are my answers for these questions. Please review. Then I will have a one-on-one call with you to review the answers and will correct your understanding. Because if I give the answers, it would be like by hearting the things. You just by heart, like, okay, for this question, this is the answer. For this question, this is the answer. You won't get, you won't use your brain. Okay, I want you to understand the concept and crack the questions. That is my move. And mock interviews will be conducted. It's a one-on-one completely. Whenever you are ready, I will be giving the schedule like intermittently. Okay, you have to come back with me voluntarily. Hey, Venkat, I am prepared for this mock interview as per your schedule. Please enroll my name. Then I will allocate the time for you and take the mock interviews. There is no forceful things here. It completely depends on you. And I will assist you in preparing the resume. I will give you the template, sample resumes. and you can prepare some draft version, then we can review together. And for complete learning, we are using the Google Classroom. I will walk you through them. And here, it's not 2 months. So you will get the free server access till the course lasted. Let's say today is our course ended. So till today, you will be having the server access. Okay, those are the core training highlights. And our learning model. So in the backend, will be using these many things for our training. Google Classroom, I will have a walkthrough. Google Quiz Forms, I will be giving you the Google quizzes also, like the question and answers kind of thing. Once the topic is over, I will provide you the quizzes. So you can fill in your answers and the marks will be announced. And the Q&A sheets, if you have any queries, you can fill in the Google Sheet. I'll be showing you them. Survey forms, to get the feedbacks frequently, I will be sharing the survey form. And we will be using the Zoom for our cloud meetings. And finally, the prerequisites. For technical consultant, these are the things to be known. If you have knowledge or experience, both are fine. And functional consultant, you need to have the knowledge or experience of either of these modules. Of course, the techno-functional should have the mix. And finally, as I said, the Google Classroom. This is the Google Classroom. You can just, I will be providing the access to this Google Classroom for your Gmail account only. No other email accounts are accepted by the Google Classroom. So you will be given the access for August 2022 batch. So these are the existing batches. So here, this is organized in this way. If someone don't have the ABAP prerequisite skill, I'll be providing you the reference videos. So you can just follow in the same sequence to get the exposure to ABAP. So complete ABAP is not required. So whatever the ABAP concepts are required, you will be getting only these things. Okay. Now you have the assignments also. Okay, these are all the assignments. Of course, so there are people are not proactively completing the assignments. That's what I said. If you don't do the assignment, then you will be lagging behind. And if any certification terms are there, that will be provided. And the class notes, you will get this class notes. Whatever we see in the live class notes, you will see. So each and every topic, whatever we are discussing, that will be updated in the single sheet. These are the important links. And the index, whatever the topics that we have covered. And if you look at the introduction, everything. So whatever notes we are explaining, taking in the class. Okay, you can see everything here in the class. That will be shared. Now quizzes will be conducted and the recorded sessions. Each and every day recording will be uploaded here. And here, what are the topics covered in this session? Okay, that will be here. And the reference resumes and study materials will be there. All the study materials will be provided. So you can access everything from this platform. This is the single source for you to access everything relevant to our training. So here, one thing I need to tell you. So this access will be there for you 1 year, because I take it as an average period by getting feedback from multiple students. So 1 year is more than enough for learning any skill and get the good exposure. So after 1 year, if you still require a couple of months access, that can be considered. But on an average, usually it is for 1 year access. And you can download every content here except the videos. Videos can only be visible, viewed online. You can't download the videos because of the privacy purpose and all. Because I had some bad experiences in the past by different students. They were selling the videos to different people. Doesn't mean that everyone do like that, but there are few people. Okay, these are the efforts of us, and you are also putting the efforts, and you are also spending your money. It should not go useless for other people undeserved. That is the reason I just made the videos non-downloadable, except that everything will be downloadable. So this is our training methodology and training platform, everything about the training. So if you have any questions now, feel free to ask. And meanwhile, if anyone did not update the details, please type in the chat window your name, source, and skill set, experience, interest role. So now I'm open for the
Venkat, sorry to interrupt. I have a question. You were talking about the assignments. Those assignments will be basis in the class-wise sessions, or it will be like as per your like you covered these topics, you will be having those assignments, giving the assignments to us.
Yeah, good question. So as soon as I complete a topic, I will give the assignments on that topic soon. Let's say I completed the workflows. So I will give the assignments immediately on the workflows.
So those assignments will be like we need to do through the demo, we will be provided the service there. We need to do that, or how we need to do that?
You will be given the access to the server. So assignments you need to complete in the server. Then you need to just capture the relevant screenshots in a document and send it back.
Okay.
Like the approach you did and what is the final output you got. So accordingly, I will be validating and giving you the grades. And one more thing, the student whoever gets the highest grade in the complete assignments throughout the training, end of the day, I will be calculating the grade. And one more thing, that guy has to complete at least 80% of the assignments and will be entitled for a surprise gift also. It's a valuable definitely.
And Venkat, this assignments is, see, if you see in the Excel sheet, there are some different streams, like mine is like a technical consultant, some are some techno function. So it varies, right? Like while completing the assignment.
It definitely varies. I will be mentioning the relevant roles also in the assignments. Accordingly, I will be calculating the grades.
Okay, thank you, Venkat.
Yeah, thank you. Because that doesn't make sense like asking functional consultant to do the coding.
Venkat,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Next question.
So this is on certification. So we have two codes. So one is 90 and 1909. So which one is
90 is absolute now. 1909 is the latest.
Okay. And one more thing, do we have any fast track course on this?
Fast track, I am planning so, but not yet confirmed, but the regular is confirmed. If you are in your name?
Rajiv.
Yeah, Raju. I think you pinged me already. So I'll be updating you on the fast track.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions from anyone?
Hello.
Yeah.
So it will be not on weekend because I have office from Monday to Friday.
Yeah, it will be on the weekdays only.
Not because timing, I think I will not get because. So can you please move to weekend if possible?
You are Ravi, right?
Yeah, Ravi.
I think you have my number, so you can ping me. We'll connect offline.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. Any other questions from anyone?
One more question, Venkat. Like we have this process of UI modeling and process modeling where we are actually, let's say enabling a UI BB or something. That also we will be covering in our sessions. Like,
yes, exactly. We'll
like
do the
creation of a data model and how we are extending it. That also will cover, right?
Yeah, we create a custom data model and we create some custom UI application also, but not like end-to-end application like the standard solution. Because if you want to do the end-to-end solution, that takes years, like SAP product implementation. But we will see from the scratch how we can create a custom data model, and from the scratch how we can create a custom UI application, and till the data updates in the backend database. That cycle we will see complete.
Okay, fine.
Any other questions from anyone else?
So Venkat, last question from my end. And NWBC is the latest version they're using, or any other tool they're using?
I see few clients are using NWBC and a few clients are using Fury also. And that is based on the software version that, I mean, SAP components we have like S/4HANA 1909. In that, whatever the latest is there, that will be being used.
Yeah, sure, Venkat. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions, guys? Okay.
Thanks, Venkat. Thanks. You have explained in detail. Yeah.
So I would like to wind up the demo for today at this point. Please
So,
reach
Venkat,
out. Yeah.
Is it possible? Can I share this recording?
Yeah, I
Sunil,
will. Yes, Sunil. I will share the recording to you.
Yeah.
So you can share with the students. So students, so whoever is interested, please get back to your respective point of contacts, institutes or myself, if you are from my reference directly. So we'll be discussing the further details on this. Thank you, guys. Have a happy weekend.
Venkat, I have a small suggestion, Venkat. During the online classes, I mean regular classes I'm talking about, why can't we create some sort of WhatsApp group like for this, especially for this class example?
Yeah, they
so
already
any
WhatsApp,
updates?
Yeah,
Okay.
already WhatsApp groups are there for every batch.
Oh,
Maybe
is it?
I used
Okay.
to update that one.
Oh,
So
okay,
we will,
okay.
as soon as you clear the fees and you enroll for the training, you will be added to the WhatsApp group. So there you can, we'll be sharing the regular updates, and if you have any queries, you can create there. So everything you can post it.
Sure, Venkat. Thank you.
And if any job opportunities are there, that also we have separate group. That link also I will be sharing once you enroll for the training. We have a separate WhatsApp group where daily I will be sharing the job postings in various companies as per my sources.
Sure, Venkat. Thank you.
Okay, one last question, Venkat, from my side. Sorry. I just wanted to know, like, the frequency, since it was an overview session, and so the frequency will be the same entire throughout the session, or we will be like little fast, or how it will be like?
So to be honest, the frequency will be even a little slightly slow than today's also, because today's based on the time factor. I myself felt I went little speed, but the time was limited. But in the live classes, you will see a moderate frequency, which can be understandable by layman also.
Okay. And one more thing, like regarding you told for the non-ABAPers who are not technical, so will you be sharing the basics that we should know about before getting into this technical?
So these all will be shared with you immediately as soon as you enroll. If you see about videos reference, so all these topics will be shared with the links. These are not my own videos, but I found this trainer explained clearly each and every about topic. That's why I am sharing this. You can get a good exposure.
Okay, Venkat. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Venkat, Shiva this said, a small question.
Yeah.
So during the file upload, the kind of thing in MDG, data replication kind of thing. So you will be going further, right, to explain about the coding, everything. For example, in RFC using kind of RFCs or.
Yeah, I will walk you through if any standard are there. If any custom is there, we will show you how to write the coding also.
Okay, Venkat. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so there are no questions. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks for attending the demo. Please confirm your interest. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks everyone. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.